What up out there, y'all? All right, so I'm back in Hawaii real quick. Just a little quick stopover. Still at the airport, waiting to go back to my house, and actually my sister's house, because I don't even have a house here right now. Go to my sister's house, hang out with the family for a little while, and then on to Thailand. But I just had a thought pop into my head, because it needs to be some truth need to be told. I see people putting up thumbnails of girls in Medellin and Cartagena and Thailand even and Brazil all the time, right? Every YouTuber does this. It's I don't know how it attracts attention, but every YouTuber does this. And I think I should say this because nobody else is saying this, and I assume that when you don't say something, people think they're correct about it, right? So what's going on? What I want to say is that, what you have to understand is that these women have their own men already. These women have their own men in their own country. Okay? So, and if she's attractive to you, she may or may not be an attractive woman in her country. But if she is also considered an attractive woman in her country, she's got her own men already. Don't discount that, These women have a whole life already. They have men, they have a deep, because, they have a deep field of opportunities to choose from among their own men. And you got to remember, all of these countries I've been to, Brazil, Thailand, Colombia, that I've been to the longest, those are the ones I've been to the longest. These are healthy. I mean, I've lived among the locals. Like when I say I've been staying there, minimal a month or two, minimal 2 months, maximum. I just got done with Colombia. I've been there 5 months. These countries have what I say healthy social systems. Healthy social systems. What is that? Healthy social system would be like where the terms of socializing with women in this country for the men that live there are very favorable. Where the men that live there, they don't even probably ask a girl out on a date, right? It's implied, like, they through their social network, whether it be school, I would presume school, or just neighborhood or friends of friends, have a like and a chemistry with someone, and then they will pair off individually. Hey, I'm gonna be over here, would you like to come? Or what are you doing today? Okay, I'm gonna come meet you. Like that. Like, it's not no formal stuff like we gotta do in America, where you gotta be like, hey, would you like to go out on a date with me? Or whatever we say, whatever we used to say. And the reason why it's healthy is because these men never get turned down. I haven't seen women in these countries turn their men down at all. There's no rejection. Now she may eventually, I don't know what moves they make. Women are pretty much stoic and across the board. So maybe she might not, respond to his text. She might ignore him like that, but she'll never reject to go out with him. You know what I'm saying? She'll never just straight up say no, like women do in the Matrix, or brush you off, or be flaky, right? She won't do that. So that's an example of a healthy social system. So, these men in these countries, they have it really, really good. Plus, all of these countries are naturally tropical, like Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, right? So the women in these countries, they stay fit because their physique is on display all the time, right? It's no cold weather. If you live in New York, or you live in Chicago, or you live in LA, or some places you live where you can get away with not having I shouldn't say LA, but if you live anywhere other than Miami and LA, you pretty much can't get away with not having your physique on display during the winter months as a woman. You can pretty much get away with that. So, a lot of women may not feel that physical fitness is a priority. they're sure asking for it from the men, but we don't see them actually doing a lot of it, right? So in these other countries, because it's tropical all the time, I've been in the gym. I've had many gym memberships, and I've been in the gym, and it's usually all women. It's all women in the gym. It don't be a lot of dudes there. It's all women. And a couple of the dudes work out, they work out for vanity. Mostly I've seen the guys that work out in the gym are like slender or skinny guys trying to bulk up. Because most of the guys that live in these countries, man, they don't have to worry about their physique, because they know that their women are going to choose them, are going to go out with them, are going to accept them, are going to see them. Plus, the dynamic of these countries is it's not a lot of obesity among the men anyway. You don't see a lot of fat guys out there, overweight men over there. So, and I would say, like, I can tell you right now, yeah, you should work on your physique a little bit. You don't got to be crazy, you just got to be, have a nice dad bod, or be working in between, because there's no obesity over there among the men. And that could be for a lot of reasons, but that's not why I'm here to discuss. But what I'm here to discuss is just that, it's a little bit overblown that all these women have no life and they're sitting at home waiting for you to retire from your job and then start traveling the world, They're not doing that. They're not sitting around. Their men are pursuing them. They're choosing their men. They're having fulfilling lives. They're having children. They're dating. They're getting married. They're dating. They're getting married, and they're doing a bunch of stuff, before. They're doing a bunch of stuff before you arrive, okay? So don't get it twisted that, they're sitting around waiting for you. So when you see these women in the thumbnails, don't believe it. Don't believe that they're actually available. A lot of them aren't. A lot of the good-looking ones, they aren't available. I've seen plenty of phenomenal women armed up, holding hands, and they like to go out in groups, right? They like to go out in groups. In these countries, they like to go out in groups. There's really no duo dating in these countries, right? They go out in groups, and I think that sometimes that hurts you. But I'll talk about that later when you're solo, when you're a solo traveler as a man, or you're just with two guys, or and it also hurts you, I think, among African American men when you're in a group of at least 5 guys. And I'll talk about that some other time. But it should benefit you. It does benefit you to be traveling with a group of guys, because most of the girls that you can talk to that are single are going to be among a group of women. Single women in Brazil and Colombia, in my opinion, like the real single women, they don't go out by themselves. They go out with a group of friends. So if you're by yourself and, you're never going to meet her by herself, she's going to be with a group of friends. And if you're by yourself and you go up to her group of friends, the way women judge you, because it's a healthy social system, they're like, wait a minute, you don't have no friends? Something's wrong with you. So, all right, so that's just what I wanted to talk about real quick. And I'll talk more about that too, about, why solo traveling is not really the best option for you if you're trying to connect with women in other countries. And I'll talk about a bunch of things on this channel. It's the Travel Wolf, man. I know I call it the Travel Wolf because, there are, but I can tell you, you can get out there, but you got to be chosen. You know what I'm saying? You got to be chosen. You ain't gonna have no power to do any choosing by yourself. You really got to get out there, get your best peacock on, and be chose. And once in a while it'll happen. Once in a while, somebody will walk up to you. Somebody will, wanna secure your attention. They wanna make an impression on you. And a funny thing, I just had that happen. I ain't even gonna front. The whole time I was in Colombia, the first and only time that's happened to me was in Medellin. I was out. I was sitting by myself. Girl kept looking at me, linking eyes with me. I waved to her. I waved to her. She waved back and smiled. So I waved her over, and she came over. And she just ran over real quick and she was like, "Can I give you a hug?" And I was like, "Okay." So, you know, she gave me a hug and I was like, "All right, cool," you know. So we hugged and we talked for a little bit, exchanged numbers, and then she went to go back to her friends, and then she came back and gave me another hug after a little bit, and we talked for a little bit, you know. So that's what I mean when I say that women in these other countries, no single woman is going to be by herself. So those thumbnails are deceiving. That's my point. These thumbnails that they use, I don't know why they attract you, but these thumbnails that are being used with women on them, they're deceiving as fuck. Okay? Very deceiving. I don't know why people use them, but don't be deceived. So that's a little bit of the game. I'll talk some more about those topics, like I said. How you're looked at when you're seen by yourself. Why it doesn't really help you if you're African American and you're with a group of 5 men or more. I know it's a paradox, but you know, and that, you know, I forgot the other thing I was gonna say. I was gonna go in more detail about, but I'll cover everything that I said I would go into more detail about when I look at this video again. So that's all I got for today, guys. This is Travel Wolf. I'm gonna have some more steps for you. I'm gonna start with Brazil, give you all the steps for Brazil. Then I'm gonna give you all the steps for Thailand. I already laid out the steps for Colombia. I'm gonna give you some more because I can't find any of this stuff on any of these channels. It's crazy. You be going back 2 years and then it be old. It don't even be relevant anymore. It don't be relevant intel. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoy this channel and you grow from it and you know how to get your feet moving forward when you get off the plane. That's what this is all about. Talk to you soon. Peace.